Hello students, let's read the problem. And it says, Mr. Smith bought a container in the form of a cylinder with 6.9-foot diameter and a height of 35 feet and 8 inches. Which measurement is closest to the volume V of the container in cubic feet? So what are we going to be looking for is the volume. And what kind of shape are we talking about here? Well, it says that it's a container, but that container looks like a cylinder, right? Okay, and they're giving us some measurement. This is the diameter, 6.9 foot, and the height it's also given to us as 35 feet, 8 inches. And we're looking for the closest for that. The closest means that if you work out the problem, it's possible that your answer might not be exactly like the answer choices, but you would choose whichever answer is the closest for you. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to draw a cylinder, right? Because if I draw a cylinder, it might help me identify where the numbers goes. So this is my cylinder, and I know what you're thinking. I'm cheating, right? Because my cylinder is already here. But that's okay. It will make it look nice, right? So let's write down some labels here. So the 6.9, it's my diameter. So I will write down D equals, and the 35 feet 8 inches is my height. So I write down H equals to that. And the next thing I want to do is I want to write down a formula. And the formula for volume of a cylinder is V equals capital B times H, where capital B stands for area of the base. And in this case, my base is a circle, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is let's highlight the circles here. So this is my base. And notice how opposite to that, there's an exactly equal or congruent shape to that, because both of my bases needs to be congruent. Okay, so I do want to write down capital B, because remember capital B is the area of the base, which in this case my formula will be pi radius squared. Notice how I am not writing down A equals, because A, even though it's area, right, I want to use capital B because that's the one that I have in my formula. So I am going to come back to my formula for volume, and I'm going to replace capital B with pi radius squared times the height. Okay, now notice how the height, I'm just bringing it down. Okay, so volume equals pi, I'm gonna write down pi just as it is. Radius, please don't tell me it's 6.9, that's diameter. Radius is half of it, and my radius will be 3.45 feet. Okay, so I will write down 3.45 feet, and remember that you're raising it to the second power. And the height for that is, now be careful with the height. Please don't write down 35.8, because that's not my decimal. My decimal, I will find it if I compare the 8 inches to the total inches on 1 foot. Now remember that 1 foot is equals to 12 inches. So if I have 8 inches, I can write down this as 8 over 12. And that will be equals to 0.666. It's a repeating decimal. So the height, therefore, I will write down 35.666. And of course, I can write down feet now. Okay, so I am going to replace the height with 35.666 feet. Now, look what I did. So the pi is still my pi. Okay, the height, and this is my radius, which is 3.45, right? And my height now, it's going to be 35.666. Okay, so notice how each one of those components in the formula is replaced by one value, but in the pi, I'm going to leave pi alone, right? So if you input all that in the calculator, you will get something very close to volume equals 1,333.67 cubic feet. Now, your decimal depends on how many of these sixes did you write on the calculator. If you write only 2, you get one answer. If you get 3, 4, 5, your answer will be closer and closer to the actual answer. So notice how this is very close to my answer choice B. Okay, so that will be my answer.